They say they can't, I know, cause I'm way on top of my flow, and she has nothing that's inside, so I'm out the window.
In the world of professional sports, age is closely related to performance. Obviously, there is a correlation between age and a decline of performance. The NBA is not immune to this occurrence, although there are some players defying age and arguably performing better in their later stages rather than their younger days. In this video, I will be sharing with you 5 players who have recently found the fountain of youth in their 30s. Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy J-Rob back at it again with another video, and I know I've been away for some time, but it's because of college, and yeah, I'm back on my grind making these sports videos, and if you do enjoy and appreciate the content that I produce, please make sure you leave this video a like, and if you are not already subscribed, please make sure you subscribe and also click the notification bell. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first player I believe who is aging backwards is the one, the only, Marc Gasol. Marc Gasol, if you don't know him, you should know him. His brother, Pau Gasol, from Spain, one of the best Euro big men to step foot in the league. He's a great player. He is really a great player. He spent a long time with the Memphis Grizzlies, and his best season was at 32 years old when he averaged 19.5 points a game, 6.3 rebounds, and about 4.5 assists. Also, this was his first year shooting threes with volume, and he shot 38% from 3, which I feel is pretty impressive considering that was his first year shooting threes. In addition to that, the last 3 years, Marc Gasol has been averaging 17.3 points per game, 7.5 rebounds per game, and 4.4 assists per game. But the prior 8 seasons to this, he was only averaging 14.3 points a game, 7.8 rebounds a game, and about 3 assists per game. And he wasn't shooting threes. And all I can say is that his scoring can definitely be attributed to him shooting threes, so you know that his game is polishing as he gets older. He is aging like fine wine, in a sense, okay? But his skill has always been there, and his skill is shining as he gets older. So the next player I believe who is aging backwards is JJ Redick. If any of you guys can guess JJ Redick's real first name, I will be surprised. I'll give you 5 seconds to guess. Alright, time's up. And if you did not know, JJ Redick's real name is Jonathan Clay. Yeah, I don't know where he gets the JJ from, but it's there. Okay, and as you know, JJ Redick, he was a prolific scorer in college, averaging 26.8 points per game his senior year playing for the Duke Blue Devils. And after that great season, he was drafted in the lottery by the Orlando Magic, but he struggled his first 4 seasons. He only averaged 7 points per game, 1 rebound a game, and 1 assist per game. So he did not live up to the hype with that high draft pick. But after a short stint with the Milwaukee Bucks, Redick was dealt to the Los Angeles Clippers, and he improved mightily, averaging 15.8 points per game, 44% from 3, and shot a career best 47% from 3 in the 2015-2016 season for the Clippers. And when he started playing for the Sixers at 33 years old, he's been averaging 17.3 points per game, 2.5 rebounds per game, and 2.8 assists per game, and shooting 40% from 3. Now, yes, we have always known that JJ Redick has been a lethal 3-point shooter, but his 3-point shooting has gotten better over the years. His best season I just mentioned in 2015-2016. The past 2 years, it hasn't been as great as previous seasons, but his all-around game has gotten better, as I mentioned, the assists and the rebounds that he's getting for the 76ers, and he's playing a more important role for this team as well. And I cannot leave out the fact that he is averaging 17.6 points per game at the young age of 34. And that is his career high in points per game. Now, the next player I believe who is aging backwards is Lou Williams, also known as Sweet Lou, also known as Lou Will, also known as Mr. Two Girlfriends. Lou Williams' first 9 years were spent with the 76ers in Atlanta, And in those 9 seasons, he averaged 11.4 points per game, 3.1 assists per game, and shot 34% from 3. So those aren't stellar numbers, and you have to consider that he came straight out of high school, so the learning curve was different from him. He was, when people think of players coming out of high school, a lot of people might not know that about Lou Williams. And he came straight out of high school, and he did not do well his first season. I think he was averaging like 1 point a game or something like that, but he did pick it up later on. But the last year's season, Lou Williams put up 22.6 points per game, 5.3 assists per game, 36% from 3, and won the NBA Sixth Man Award. He was balling. His best scoring season ever. This season, at 32 years old, he may repeat as his Sixth Man of the Year, averaging 20.2 points a game, 5.4 assists per game, and 36% from 3. So yeah, he is definitely a top candidate for getting that Sixth Man of the Year award. The Clippers, they should just start him. Let's see what happens if you actually start him. He does get starters minutes, but he's putting up great numbers so far. And as you can see, the Clippers, they be doing something with these old dudes, man. JJ Redick, when he got on the Clippers, he started balling. Lou Williams, all of a sudden he's balling. The next player, I believe, who was aging backwards. You probably didn't guess this. You probably were not going to guess this person, and that is LeBron James. The last 3 seasons, over 32 years old, LeBron James has been averaging 27 points per game, 8.6 rebounds a game, 8.7 assists per game, and shooting 54% from the field and 36% from 3. Now, you might say, oh, that's typical LeBron, but when you consider that some people say that your prime years are from anywhere from your age 26 season to your age 31 season, LeBron was only averaging 26 points per game, 6.8 rebounds a game, and 7.3 assists per game. So yeah, he's been having better numbers his past few seasons than he's had in his quote-unquote prime years, okay? And I feel it's astonishing that he can keep these numbers up. Yes, these numbers are kind of skewed because he had more help in Miami, so his points are going to be there, but I feel as though his assists definitely should have been higher back in those days, but he's getting more assists now. He's becoming a better facilitator. Obviously, he's not shooting better from the line, but from the field, he cannot be stopped. This guy, he must have a great nutrition plan, because the numbers he's putting up at this age is just phenomenal to see. He is in the GOAT conversation. I won't say he's the GOAT right now, but he's in the conversation because he is doing something absolutely amazing. The numbers that LeBron is putting up is just defiant of the age restriction. Now, the last player on this list, I know he's not playing anymore, so I kind of cheated, but I just felt like I had to mention him because not a lot of people in the NBA community have mentioned this player before, and that is Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes had his best stint with the LA Clippers. Once again, the Clippers, they do something with these old dudes, man. And when he was on the Clippers, he started at 32 and he ended his tenure when he was 35. So he was a good portion of his 30s was spent with the Clippers. And in that tenure, he averaged 10.1 points per game, 4.4 rebounds per game, and 1.7 assists per game, and shot 35% from 3. Now, Matt Barnes hasn't had the greatest of roles on teams, he's basically a role player, but when he was on the Clippers, he found his role, and he performed the best out of his whole career with that team. And Matt Barnes also did pretty well in his mid-30s. So yeah, that's the list. Hopefully you enjoyed those 5 players who I believed aged backwards. If you can think of some other players who you think are balling better in their 30s than they did in their 20s, please let me know in the comments, because I just want to see. I want to see if y'all could dig up some players, all right? Y'all can name some players back in the days too, all right? I would love to see it. But as always, this has been another J-Rod video. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell, and peace. Run the game like LeVar, finesse finessing like I'm Jello, ballin' like I'm Lonzo, wild boy, call me mellow, run the game like LeVar, finessing like I'm Jello, ballin' like I'm